Greetings from Kesseböhmer USA's Training Center in Wilmington, North Carolina. This is the installation of the waste bin pullout with the push to open option by Kesseböhmer. During the installation, please refer to the mounting instructions that came with your product for complete installation details. Since this installation incorporates two sets of instructions, please follow the sequence carefully. The waste bin pullout frame comes in a single or double version and can be combined with our 36 quart or 52 quart bins. When installing below a drawer, be sure that there is at least 19.5 inches of available height. Today's installation is being shown using the optional mechanical push to open kit, which we'll later refer to as the PTO kit. The tools you will need for this installation are a tape measure, a pencil, an awl, a posi screwdriver, and a power drill. You will also need 20 panhead screws. When using the PTO kit with the waste bin pullout, it is critical to remove the soft close piston and the self-close spring from the left-hand runner. Failure to do so will lead to poor performance. To remove the piston, rotate the cover cap and remove the piston from the frame. Using a small flat screwdriver, remove the self-close spring by prying upwards. All parts can now be discarded. Mount the PTO release plate to the back right of the frame using two of the supplied machine screws. Take note of the orientation of the release plate and that the screws should be mounted from the outside of the frame. To begin the installation of the frame, mark and draw a center line on the floor of your cabinet. If your pullout came with a template, align the template with the center line and the front of the cabinet, noting the differences for overlay or inset doors. For installation without a template, refer to the instructions for proper positioning of the bottom frame. Punch holes in the floor with an awl to mark the location of the floor brackets. Note that it is important to punch holes on both sides of the runner on all four brackets. Failure to do so could lead to poor runner performance later. Don't forget to punch holes for the PTO as well. Secure the frame to the floor of the cabinet using a minimum of 8 panhead screws. Move the PTO mechanism into place behind the right-hand runner. Be sure that the foot of the PTO support plate slides fully underneath the waste bin pullout mounting bracket. Secure the PTO support plate to the floor using 3 panhead screws. Note that a 4th screw should be used in the round hole once all adjustments have been made. Now it's time to mount the door brackets to the door. Start by laying the door face down on a flat surface. Mark and draw a center line starting at the bottom of the door. Using the pre-installed adhesive dots, secure the door template to the door, carefully aligning with the center line that was just drawn, as well as the desired overlay at the bottom. One of the features of the waste bin pullout is the flexibility to mount door rails facing in or out based on the cabinet and door configuration. Note the orientation that works best for you, and if necessary, cut your template as shown. Once positioned, punch holes through both brackets using your awl. Secure the brackets to the door using at least 2 panhead screws. Once complete, remove your template from the door. Turn the door over and mount to the frame, aligning each of the rail keyhole slots with the adjustment cams on the bottom frame. Push the door back into the cabinet, watching the connection of the rails and frame. Connection is confirmed by the green ClickFixx button on each side of the frame. Note that it might require a mallet, but be careful not to apply too much blunt force. Assemble the diagonal rod using 2 of the provided machine screws, taking note of the orientation of the 2 pieces and ensuring that the screws are mounted from the outside direction. Mount the diagonal rod to the PTO release bracket that has been previously mounted to the frame using one of the provided machine screws. Note that the screw should be mounted from the inside position. Assemble the PTO door bracket to the diagonal rod using one of the provided machine screws. Note that this bracket can be oriented in or out as needed. Align the bracket into place against the back of the door and punch holes using your awl. Mount the bracket to the back of the door using at least 2 panhead screws. Attach the cross rail to the side rails with the open end of the caps facing the back of the cabinet. Cycle your waste bin pullout and check for alignment. If tilt or height adjustments are needed, adjust the 4 cams using a Phillips head screwdriver. For tilt adjustments, raise or lower the front or back cams. To raise or lower the whole door, raise or lower all 4 cams. For side-to-side adjustment, loosen the screws in the slots of the door brackets, align the door left or right, and then tighten the screws again. If you find that your PTO is not pushing the waste bin pullout far enough, verify that you have removed the soft close piston and self-close spring from the left-hand runner. If the soft close piston and self-close spring have both been removed from the left-hand runner and the PTO is still not working as expected, some adjustments might be needed. To do so, verify that you have a 3mm gap between the door and the cabinet. Once the door gap is verified, there are 2 ways to adjust the PTO strength. First, start by making fine-tuning adjustments using the wheels on the actuators. Note that the adjustments should be made in opposite directions on the wheels. Once adjusted, ensure that the actuators are adjusted to an equal depth. Cycle your waste bin pullout and check for travel. If the fine-tuning did not fix the problem, it might be necessary to move the position of the PTO support bracket mounted to the floor. Loosen the screws and reposition the bracket using the slotted holes. Once satisfied with the position, tighten the screws again. Cycle your waste bin pullout and check for travel. Congratulations! You've completed the installation of the waste bin pullout with an optional PTO kit. If you followed the instructions carefully, you should find a smooth and quiet operation. Thank you for choosing Kesseböhmer. For more information, visit us on our website at www.cleverstorage.com.